How do I make a Let's Play video from start to finish? Well, let's go over that. So, first of all, I start with planning. Now, I try to figure out what I want to build. Now, in this, for example, this is in Labyrinthum, I am currently building this house right here. So this is episode 1, so I decided to build right here. Now, usually I figure out exactly what I want to build. Usually the style is included, but I often just wing it. But with this build, I am establishing a style for the entire city. Now, we'll take a look at what I'm going to be doing in each episode, but first, I am sometimes building this in creative. Like in this creative builds world. It's a flat world. I haven't really done much in this one. I do have another one that I've been doing some creative builds in, but I usually don't use this. I mostly just do it, well, winging it, just not planning very much. So let's take a look at my recording software. I use OBS. Now, you may have noticed that this is kind of outdated here, and I haven't streamed in a while either. So I'm actually currently on my Twitch profile here. I do have a YouTube profile, which I do use for streaming on YouTube, which is very rare right now. But for recording, I have just set this to record. Now, as you can see, I've got desktop audio here. I've got mic here. So that is on top of the desktop audio. Now, I'm fairly simple with my recording, so I don't have a separate file for the mic. I don't know. I could do that, but I just don't really want to do it. But for 100 days hardcore, I'm going to have to add on another audio track for the mic only. But this is what I use. This is very straightforward and simple. As you can see, I am recording right now. Of course I am. But what goes into recording an episode? So the first thing I do is record a very, very brief intro. I try not to say much in it, and I get right into doing it. Now, one thing that you have noticed is I turn the shaders off. I don't record the videos with shaders on. I like to keep it with the vanilla look, but I do use shaders later on, which I will get into very soon. Now, what I do is I record in short clips. I don't record long clips that I then edit. I find it saves space, and it also makes it easier for me to edit. I can edit more quickly. I just record what I really want to be in the video. Of course, sometimes that means that I miss some kind of event, but when I'm just building, that rarely ever happens. Not really. However, if I go adventuring, then I record longer clips because you don't know what's going to happen. Usually one of the first things I do is I go gather resources. Now, I may or may not show it in the video. If it's rather mundane, like cutting down trees, I usually don't. But I will sometimes record if I'm going somewhere far away. Now, we're not far away here, but if I go, let's say, somewhere way over here to gather, let's say, clay or jungle trees, then I go over there and I record that. The main part of the video is, of course, building. Now, I will do building and some landscaping at the same time, whatever I need to be done, and I generally don't record the entire process. Now, I don't do any time lapses, although one thing that I have told myself is to actually start using replay mod so that I can do some time lapses. Now, I'm not so sure I want to do that very much, but I would like to use replay mod for cinematics. In Labyrinthum, the series is driven by lore. A lot of story. So each build has its own story, its own people. And inside, I chronicle their history with books. So I use the book and quill to record whatever has happened to these people's lives. And it gives people, if anyone wants to download the world, you have to be a patron or a channel member. gold tier to be able to download this world, and you get to explore and read the story. So I will write these books off screen, and then I will look at them later on towards the end of the video. With the build done, I might go off adventuring. It depends on what I need to do. Sometimes I go in the middle of a build because I might need something. However, for episode 1, I am going adventuring after I am done the first house. And there's a reason for that, which you'll see when episode 1 is out. Now I have shaders on. The previous part that I just recorded, that had shaders on too, but that was not intended. I don't go adventuring with shaders on, but with shaders on, I then go and walk around the build. I showcase what has been done, and I go in and read all of the books. The next thing I do is record these atmospheric readings of the books. So it's not the full entries, but what I do is I go to an appropriate location in the build or near the build, and I have a hotkey for this, so I just make it so that it's in cinematic mode, so it's a very smooth motion, and I read it usually with not my usual narration voice, but I make it sound more dramatic, and I do put music over it that's a little more ominous sounding. Well, really depends on if it's going to be ominous. Like in this city, I'm not sure if it will be. I then do the outro. And finally, I take screenshots for the thumbnails. Now let's get on with editing. I use HitFilm Express, which is free, by the way, and it's quite powerful. I have tried DaVinci Resolve, but for some reason it keeps crashing on me. So this is what I use, and I've been using this for quite a while. So we start with new, and I have everything set up here. It's 1080p with 60 frames per second. And I just find that that's all I really need. That's what I record in anyways. I'm not going to do 4K. Those files take up so much space. It's ridiculous. So click on OK, and we will come up with, if this will do it, it's sometimes a little bit slow. There we go. And here we are on the editing screen. So I will import. Now let's just go down here. We got video. So I recently recorded actually all of this. This is what I'm recording right now. So I don't need to show that part. However, I've got all the older recordings from the last few days. So let's just take 3 random ones here. So I open them, they load up here, and then I start editing. Go into this here, the trimmer, and I will play. Do you have a favorite? There we go. So I usually just go in and cut off the little bit here like this. And since this is an intro, I think this is actually one in which I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this was a successful one here. I am. We've had our conversation. Yeah, okay. So this one is fine. I did use this, and I just find the end, and this is the ending of a video. Yes, it is. Okay. So I just cut off, and then I just transfer down to here. So there we go. There's one clip. I do the same with the others, which is absolutely fine. So I edit together all the clips, and then with Labyrinthum, I do the atmospheric readings, which I just put them in wherever they fit. So that's a little important for the storytelling. Now, once I've got all the video edited together, I then go into here. Now, this is an absolute mess what I've got here, but I go right here. Thank you to my supporters. I just put it in. Well, let's zoom in here. Make sure I'm in the right spot. This is actually a fairly long video. So usually I just figure out the location where to do that. And go into here, effects, video transitions, motion, and slide. And I just put this at 180 degrees. There we go. So it'll transition down. Let me know in the comments below. Like this. If you like videos like this. Well, first of all, move it up. There we go. And that is the video part done. But we're going to continue here. This is, of course, all of my supporters from Patreon and channel members here. Then I import. Now, this is important. This is all the music that I'm doing. Now, I don't know. Let's say I do Celtic Dream, Celtics in the Skies. What's another one? Dance of the Wild Cats. Sure. Let's do that. So that is the music, background music. I'm not going to be playing any of that because I don't actually have a license for that on this channel. I do have a license on my main channel. So SFX, these are the sound effects that I use on my chill Minecraft. So I like select something here, you know. And then I would put them in. Let's say Celtic Dream. I usually put in the beginning of a video, at least in season 1. And then I edit this down to where I want it to end. Put in different music, put in different sound effects, and so on. Again, I'm not going to play this. Then I will adjust the audio levels. Usually audio 2, I bring down to here because these files are loud, incredibly loud. And then I increase this. This is the main part of the video. The reason I do that, actually, this is the master, so this is what I have outputting. The reason I do this is because it tends to be, the video tends to record quietly. So I need to increase the audio levels so it's louder. Plus, YouTube tends to reduce the audio levels as well. So one of the problems I had early on is I had really quiet videos. People had to crank up the audio to even hear it properly. So I make sure that it's loud enough. And once I've done all of this, everything's edited together, I then go to Export Contents and create a file name and all that stuff. But before that, of course, I do save. I have to save it, because I've had this crash on me before. I'm not going to save this because I am not going to be exporting this at all. And now for the thumbnails. Here I am using paint.net. It's very easy to use. It's quite simple. It's free as well. And I like to do it like this. Some people like to use Canva, which is fine as well. But I do have a template for my survival series. This is for Labyrinthum. For the second season, I think I may change things up. I may just use the regular Minecraft logo. And this is just a screenshot from one of my worlds that I have. It's a creative world medieval tutorial one. So I've got this. This is actually quite large. This will be too big, but I will copy this. Let's go in here. I will add a layer and I'll paste it in. So as you can see, it's too big. I'm going to zoom out. And let's just reduce this in size like that. And there we go. Make sure it actually fits completely there. So now we're right there. And then what we do is we work on usually the number. So I might just do this, go to text, and I always use impact, size 96. And I'll put in a, let's say a 1. Now not this corner because that's where the timestamp goes. So I usually just put it in this corner here. Make sure it is the same color. Duplicate that. This is the drop shadow. For Paint.net, it doesn't have a simple drop shadow method here. It doesn't have anything in here. So you have to create it yourself. I just do black, effects, blurs, Gaussian blur. usually 12 radius. And then I duplicate this 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I merge layer down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And move it down. And there we go. We got a drop shadow. It's fuzzy though. And so that's how I do that. And usually with this, I select the image itself. I do some adjustments, usually some saturation, bring out some of the colors, make them brighter, and levels as well. I do this just to make it bright so it pops out. And there we go. It's this is a very quick, I spend more time doing it than this. This was just quick and dirty here. And that's basically what I do for the thumbnail. But what I like to do is do 3 thumbnails, because on YouTube you can have, it's a A/B testing, or I guess ABC testing, and it determines which thumbnail gets the most watch time. And then I choose that as the permanent one. And finally, I of course upload the video. So I will do this. I'll click here. I'll upload the video, select the thumbnail, and so on. I'm not going to do that because I don't have a video to do that with. So what I do is I will schedule the video for later on. I will set it usually a day or so ahead and allow early access for channel members. Now, Patreon doesn't have this with YouTube, so Patreon will have extra things on top of what channel members can get. But I also place the ads. I am using the new ad placement, the one that YouTube does itself, but don't worry, it's not going to play ads every minute. It doesn't do that. But then I just make sure it's ready to go, and that's about it. It's very quick and simple doing this part. And if you want to know what kinds of things to set, I don't do tags very much. It's not really important. I do set the end screen elements, which you would see at the end of every video, which you will see at the end of this one as well. There may be some things that I've missed, probably like the settings in OBS. Now these sometimes change. I will tweak things from time to time, just trying to improve things. And sometimes it does get better, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't really change anything. But I do try to tweak things to improve the quality of the video every so often. But for the most part, I do keep things the same. I don't really like changing things too much. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. I know that that's probably not going to happen, but there are other things I need to be aware of. If there is a Windows update, that's sometimes a problem, because Windows will reset my microphone settings. So I have in the past recorded video without any voice, and I don't want to do it over again. It's incredibly annoying when that happens. So always check your microphone settings in OBS. Make sure it's working. Do some tests, like just make sure that the that green bar is going up and down, or I guess side to side, when you're talking. You just want to make sure that it is operating correctly. If you don't, you're definitely going to have some problems. But I would like to know if you have any questions about what else I do in this whole process. Just let me know in the comments below and ask, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Now, if you like videos like this and would like to see some more, then please consider subscribing to this channel as well as my main one, where you will find Labyrinthum. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.